For weeks now, I have travelled throughout Stanton, filling the rat-shaped void in my citizen life and wallet with many a task. I have traded and looted, I have murdered and sold. I have raced across the vast flat expanses of moons in my Misk Razor. And still, I have felt the calling. The telltale whisper heard by one who hoards and earns, who counts their wealth like a covetous dragon, who chases the high that only vast riches can provide. I have searched and wandered, mined and delivered, all to feed that insatiable hunger, the emptiness that the rat method's demise left in me. And I found it. I've found the spiritual successor to the rat method. Citizens, my name's Beard of Oz, and today I'm going to show you how I fed my inner Loot Goblin. And you can too. Let's dive in. Chances are, when 317 dropped and you first started selling your looted gear, you were excited. Then as you realized that you would spend more time selling the loot than you had collecting it, that excitement faded. And further still, when you started having to rely on tables, or charts, or notes, or a fellow citizen on YouTube telling you what was worth the time collecting to sell. And then you were making giant crates to take into bunkers to stow as much as you could, hoping, praying for the telltale glint of pink. The Haddonite. Star Citizen's gold rush was on. And then the Haddonite became less prevalent, and we knew something had changed in the Matrix. So you started visiting the caves. You know the ones. Dobbs and Calthrop. And what an adventure that was. To pick over the remains of what a dozen citizens had only hours or minutes before. Well, let me tell you this, citizens. I've spent the last 2 days making a fair chunk of change from that glorious pink rock, and believe it or not, it's less valuable, yet still very valuable green friend. You remember the one? Dolvine. The one I mocked in my ROC and hand mining video. Yes, the yucky lame kryptonite. Perhaps I judged it too harshly. My inner Loot Goblin has reveled in the abundance of wealth I've stashed in my giant Novikov backpack, and with a tasty side of murder. And it was fresh. Refreshed, one might say. As though nary another citizen had run their grubby gloved mitts through all that was rightfully mine. No longer would I sift and scrape through the leftovers of a dozen other spacefarers. It was all mine. To give you a number, to whet your appetite, what would you say if I told you that I was pulling at minimum 100,000 credits with next to no risk of harm? And when I say minimum, I'm accounting for RNG here. The majority of the time, it's closer to 200k. Now it's not rat method easy, I'll admit as much, but it's pretty darn close. Before I spill the beans on this, I just gotta say, the support I've received for the channel lately has been overwhelming. From the likes to the subs, thank you all so much. I really mean it. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel so that I know you're as much a Loot Goblin as I am. I also stream on Twitch, I'll put the link to that in the description below. Feel free to come on by and say hey. Now back to the good stuff. If you've watched that ROC and hand mining tutorial of mine, you might already know where I'm going with this. Possibly even been to this glorious home of wealth. That's right, it's the entrenched bounty caves. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, it's simple enough. First, you'll need to do some bounty hunting. In either Hurston or Crusader, or both if you're feeling frisky, level up your bounty hunter rank until you see this bounty pop up. Or this. Either of these two will do nicely. Don't get it confused for a bunker bounty, mind you. We specifically want to see the word cave. Take this mission. Next, you'll need some heavy armor. Just the chest piece really. We want a big old backpack. And a weapon. It can be anything. So you've got your mission, you've got your gear. Time to head to the location. It's a little bit of a flight, mind you. and be sure to line your ship up squarely because once within 5 kilometers, the destination marker will disappear on you. I've been running this on Daymar and Crusader primarily, but the Hurston line on Aberdeen will serve the same purpose. I've just become enamored of the view from Port Olisar, and Grimhex's elevators now working has made it something of a regular stopover for me. When I get bored of the Loot Goblin life, I'll do some quick cargo hauling. Be sure to check that video out, it's on the screen now, and I'll put the link in the description. Loaded up with a large backpack and your weapon of choice, descend into the cave. Depending on which bounty you took, you'll have anywhere from 8 to 15 targets. But don't worry, they make the enemies from the Rat Method era bunkers look like seasoned killers. Seriously, watch. I don't think I've ever been shot at in this cave. Best to take advantage of their poor combat capabilities before Daddy Roberts sends them to basic training. As you move through the cave, killing the hapless occupants, you'll see various crates filled with loot. What we are looking for is these green ones here, with corrosion on the surface. Within, you'll find our prize, refined hadnite and dolvine. Throw it all in your backpack. Now here's the best part, and one that might be often overlooked. As you slaughter the hapless criminals, be sure to loot them, and not just the backpacks, but their leg and core armor storage too. This is the untapped resource of these missions, and the key to maximizing your Loot Goblin wealth. As a note, at the time of recording this, I took note of a particular issue. The entirety of the cave showed up as too cluttered to drop anything. So if you're watching this while 3.17.1 is current, this might still be an issue. So be sure to go in with an empty backpack, keep spare ammo in your armor, and loot only what you intend to take, unless you fancy running back up to your ship on the regular. For each of these individual pieces, you're going to get over 2,000 credits. The dolvine is worth less, true, but it's far from worthless, so snatch it up too. For the most part, this will take anywhere between 15 minutes to an hour, depending on how fast or slow you take the caves. And while it may not be the fastest moneymaker, it certainly does rank up there as one of the easiest. And there you have it. The Rat Method may be gone, but another method has taken its place. Embrace your inner Loot Goblin, harvest the caves, and make that easy money. If you've enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so I know that you too love the sparkle and shine of those precious gems. Stay safe in the verse, citizens, and I will catch you all next time.